How y'all doing?
Good.
Good.
How did it feel to put an NFL uniform on for the first time and get out there?
Man, it was surreal. Yeah, instead of taking a cart to the field today, I walked and just tried to soak it in and, dream come true. Finally getting to do whatever I've been wanting to do for my whole life.
Shemar, when you're making that walk, what's going through your mind?
Shoot, everything. That's dream job, bro. I get to do this every day now. Shoot, until I get ready to stop. And yeah, just talk to my brother, talk to God. Yeah, I had a good time.
What have been your first impressions of the coaching staff and Ben Johnson?
I love the coaches. I love the coaches up here. I love their energy. I love the way they go about things. The vibe is always good here. I love everything they got going.
Was there a way that the energy from Ben showed today in practice? I mean, we were out there, it was short and could you feel his energy even?
Yes, sir. Even in the walkthrough, as you going a little fast today, yes, sir. But that energy, I definitely felt it.
Where do you feel like your strength and conditioning is at right now?
I'm not where I want to be at an elite level, but I'm getting there. Yes, sir.
Are you able to do everything?
Yes, sir.
Shemar, is it tough for you in these settings to not hit somebody?
No, sir.
For the next few months and get ready to do. What are some of the things you are kind of working on in these no pad settings?
Sure, it's hand placement, feet, making sure I'm keeping my feet in the ground so I can get all my power, utilize everything coming out my hips. Just getting back to the basics that was overlooked.
You talked about your range of emotions on draft night and then taking the moment to soak it all in on the way to the field. Was there that kind of snap back to reality when the first whistle blew and you had to get back to a drill?
Yes, sir. It's war zone in there, walk through or not. So, sure, you got to snap back and get back to football. Yes, sir.
You talked about wanting to connect with Grady Jarrett. Have you met him yet or talked about the phone at all yet? Have you had that connection?
I think he DM'd me on Instagram. We had a little conversation on Instagram, but other than that, I haven't got a chance to meet him. Can't wait to meet him, though. Great guy.
Well, I know it's only been a couple of weeks, but do you have a feel for what DA asks for from that position and what your responsibilities will be?
Yes, sir. Shoot, get lined up and shoot, win, play ball. Let's go.
Do you have a sense of whether you'll be moved around? I mean, can you play a little end if they need it or are you just focused on tackle?
Shoot, whatever they want me at, shoot, I'm going to play it and I'm going to be successful and I'm going to exceed. Yes, sir.
They haven't talked to you about versatility yet or have they?
No, shoot, no, sir, not yet.
Do you like playing off of the edge? Do you feel like you could be productive at this level there?
Sir, I just love playing D-line. Wherever they line me up at, I'm going to go and we're going to get paid.
Like a weight they want to get to or anything like that?
Just right now, just not trying to get past 300. Trying to stay in the 290 to 295 range, somewhere in there.
What have been your impressions of Coach Garrett so far?
Oh man, JG, I love that dude, bro. His energy, he remind me a lot of Coach E. In many ways, the way he teaches plays and stuff like that. I just love him, bro. Love his energy, love the way he coach, and he tries to get the best out of his guys.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all.
As for you, a weekend like this, what's your checklist? Things you want to get accomplished and get settled with?
Yeah, you're saying in terms of like football with these practices?
Exactly.
Yeah, my main goal is to just go out there and, who I am as a player, just put it out there. Let the coaches make decisions of where, when, how I fit with whatever it is. That's their job. My job is to demonstrate who I am as a player, put all my skills out there. So I'd say that's the main goal for now, yeah.
Not a lot of volume this weekend, so what can you show in a very small sample size over the next 3 days?
Yeah, I think general movement, we're not hitting, there's not full pads or anything, but being able to do the movements, go through the first couple steps full speed, stuff like that, you're able to get a lot from that. And then also the meeting rooms, just football IQ, stuff like that, learning, processing, and then regurgitating. So, that goes along with the goal that I just mentioned.
How did some of those left tackle movements, techniques that you're doing today feel to you? Did it feel natural?
Yeah, I mean, throughout college, I knew that I wanted to play in the NFL. So doing so, you have to be versatile. That's the quickest way to get on the field. So, after practice, even though I was the right tackle the last 2 years in college, working left, making sure that it's still smooth, still feels good, especially after the season, I was working more left than right just because catching up for lost time. So it felt good today.
Did you have a non-football checklist?
I mean, yeah, you could say similar, like showing who I am as a person along the staff, all the great people around the staff here. So I think that sort of coincides in a way with who I am as a football player.
What have you made of Ben Johnson's personality, both on the field, but when you come across him in the building?
Yeah, no, I think it's great. He has really good energy. I think all the guys are really excited to be here. Great energy on the practice field. You know, a lot of excitement. So yeah, I mean, it was really good today. I think the guys were excited, happy to be here, and it's really a great opportunity. So trying to make the most of it.
You get a sense of what Coach Roger is going to be like for you?
Yeah, no, great guy. You know, we had meetings with him. We sort of saw that live coaching today, so I'm really excited to work with him in the future. I think he's a great coach. Yeah, and I really like him as a person, as a coach. I think it's going to be a good relationship.
What's his style like?
I'd say, you know, pretty normal style. You know, he's all business on the field, which is what you want, right? You want someone who's going to coach you. He's going to teach you the right technique, what he wants, in a demanding way, but in a way that's just going to accomplish that goal as soon as possible. So yeah.
What do you foresee is going to be the toughest hurdle you're going to have to overcome going from the right side to the left side?
You know, that's a good one. I don't really know if there's any specific obstacles that I'm sort of thinking of. I've touched upon this before, but in a way, if you're more used to playing right tackle at live speed, you know, and you're still consistent with left, you feel good at left, it's almost easier when you're learning new technique because you don't just get into that flow state. You know, your habits are all coming back. You're hyper focused on every movement because it's not as natural. So you know, in a way, it feels smoother. It feels easier to adapt to this new coaching style, new techniques, and all the above. So,
what gives you the most confidence that you can learn all of that and do it at the NFL level immediately?
You're saying play it left?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just being with the coaches here, they wouldn't be here if they weren't great at their jobs, right? And the same goes for the players. So getting with the older guys, working with them, you know, I'm not the only guy that's had to play multiple positions. So just picking their brains, seeing how it works, you know, working after practice with them, for example, things like that. And then really just relying on the coaches, spending a lot of time here, and working as hard as I can to be the best that I can.
When you switched sides at BC, what was behind that?
It was we didn't have a great year in 2022. So new O-line coach Applebaum comes back. You know, he knows something has to change. We get Christian Mahogany back that following year. So in a way, he was saying, you know, me and Christian next to each other could be really beneficial for the offense. There was a lot more that went into it, but that was sort of the basis. And he asked, we looked at both sides. He said, "What do you think?" I said, "Obviously, wherever you want me." So he threw it out there. We did a couple spring practices with it, and then they ended up liking it. So, yeah.
Some guys struggle switching sides at that position. What made it easier for you, or what made it more fluid?
I think, like I mentioned before, just making sure throughout the season that both sides were touched up. So after practice, getting extra reps at left. You know, you never know if BC, if say the left tackle goes down, the next guy maybe feels more comfortable at right. I have to be able to do whatever. So just making sure I'm the most available that I can be at all times.
Ozzy, would it be the end of the world if you didn't start at left tackle? Have you kind of thought about that scenario if that plays out?
Yeah, it definitely wouldn't be the end of the world. My goal here is to play football, to get on the field as soon as I can. So I'm going to do whatever I can to get that done. But at the same time, I know I have a lot to work on as a player. I'm a rookie. I'm not going to show up and be the best. My goal is to become the best player I can, but I know I'm not just going to do it without work. So it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of time. So, you know, my job is not to be results driven. It's to be process driven.
Have you met any of your veteran teammates yet?
No, you know, right now it's pretty isolated to the rookies. So I'm sure moving forward, you know, we'll be able to spend time with them more so. But it's pretty hectic. We got a pretty tight schedule right now. So
They haven't added you to the group chat or anything like that?
no. I mean, no. We'll get to that stuff. I'm sure. There's a lot of moving parts going on. So yeah, I'm not too worried about that right now.
Ozzy, we hear about how you're such a technician, and you've talked about that. What are some things in your technique that just on your first day here, coaches are already working on you to continue to improve? Like, so any kind of specific things that you're kind of working on?
You're saying new things?
Yeah, there's something new that's come out.
Yeah, I mean, every coach is going to have their slight tweaks to the technique. So whether it's, you know, the angle you're setting at, where your hands are being held while you're setting, where you're punching, it's all slightly different with every coach. Every guy has got their own way of doing it. So just trying to adapt to that. There are minor tweaks. I mean, very minor. At the end of the day, you're playing football. This is something I've done for a long time. So it's not too hard to adapt to that new stuff. But yeah.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you all. Appreciate it.
By the way, what's it like putting on an NFL jersey for the first time?
It was great. I'm excited. I was excited for the opportunity, and I was excited, to get around, my teammates, coaches, and just have the feeling of being in the NFL.
Randall L was obviously very excited about you and bringing you in. What sense do you have of his coaching style, what he's going to bring out of you as a player?
I feel like he's gonna bring the best out of me. I've seen his past history. He's a guy who's been in my shoes, so he knows what to expect and different ways how to handle it. So I'm grateful, to have a great coach like him.
It's a lot of weaponry here. I know it's just the beginning, but how do you see yourself fitting in this offense?
I see myself in it just fine. Wherever I go, whatever I do, I'm gonna find a way. So.
Ben Johnson said that he was gonna really stress to guys that how you come across when the ball's not in your hands, like how you run your route when you might not be the number one person in the progression. It's gonna be really important. How is he stressing that message to you guys, maybe just early on?
Yeah, he's definitely stressing it. It's highly important, for our offense and for the team. And it's definitely important that we, gotta, do the small things when we don't have the ball, to help our teammates. So whatever we gotta do to help our teammates is what we're gonna do.
How would you describe the energy that came from Ben today at practice?
It was great energy. You know, um, First day, everybody got their first day jitters out, and everybody should feel comfortable. We're gonna go back, correct, stuff, and get back ready for tomorrow.
Did you have jitters and how did they show?
No, I didn't have no jitters. I'm been ready for this. So,
What are your goals for this week?
just learning the playbook. Finding my role on the team, and just being around my teammates. Getting to know them, getting to know everybody in the building.
What type of goals do you have personally as you enter the NFL? I know it's day one of rookie minicamp, but I'm sure you start looking ahead a little bit to your first year.
I'm pretty much just focused on today. Trying to get. I'm just taking day by day. I'm not really looking much ahead. I can't. I'm just trying to control what I control right now. So.
What are the challenges when you haven't worked with these two quarterbacks before? What are the challenges just on, the concepts right now are pretty basic, but getting on the same page with your QB?
Just find a way to get on the same page with the quarterback. That's pretty much it.
How do you do that?
Just get multiple reps. Well, after practice, before practice, we're in the hotel, going over the plays and stuff like that. So.
Looked like one of those reps, there was a target kind of near your feet. Did you catch that ball? Is this going towards the ground?
Yeah, I caught it.
Yeah. Can you just take us through that? Was that your first catch, I guess, of the practice?
Yeah, that was my first catch.
So how'd it feel to go down, make that first grab as a Chicago Bear?
It felt amazing. I'm super excited to, go catch some more. So, a lot more to be.
Okay. There's been a lot of negative comments about your practice habit in the media the last couple of days. How would you describe your practice habits?
I feel like I'm a great practice player. I'm trying to go out there and get better and, help my team any way I can help. So.
When you hear those, how do you react to the comments that are out there about what people are saying you were in college and where you are now?
It's just noise. Block the noise out. Don't listen to it.
Ben said he got a text from Jamison Williams right after the draft, just about you. What's the extent of your guys' relationship? Did you go to the same high school with him?
Yeah, we played together. He was a senior. I was a freshman. We got a great relationship, throughout my career because, he was, someone I can, ask for advice if I needed it. And, we always work out together and stuff like that.
You had a chance to talk to him just about, what a Ben Johnson offense is like, kind of what he liked about playing for him?
Yeah, he told me I'm going to love it. So, let's go.
What receivers did you grow up idolizing and wanted to be like?
I liked it like Randy Moss, Julio. I like those guys growing up, little kid. So.
Where does the confidence come from for you? Like you obviously have a lot of belief in yourself.
All I need is me to believe in myself. I don't need everybody else to believe in me. So as long as I believe in myself, I'm gonna handle business. So.
Did you have that at a young age, or how did that develop for you?
Yeah, I've just had this same attitude since I've been playing sports. So it's just in me.
Have you connected with DJ, Rome, Olamide, the other pass catchers in the group?
Yeah, I definitely hit him. Hit him up for sure.
Yeah. What I guess what's the excitement level with this group? Obviously, you're not together on the field yet, but can you just take us through the group dynamics there?
I mean, we all excited. It's gonna be a huge year for Chicago Bears, and can't wait to get to work with those guys.
Is there anything?
We can sense the chip on your shoulder a couple weeks ago after you were picked on day 2 instead of day 1. Is that something that you leave behind on draft weekend, or is that something you're carrying with you here?
No, that's staying with me forever. So everybody who passes upon me gotta pay.
For your jersey number, why number 87?
I mean, it's all the good numbers gone. So.
Thank you so much.